I am going to screw the sides in case I ever need to open this up to get to any of the mechanical behind it or into the walls or anything. You know why I'm at it? I had to add another shelf. Of course, that's the beauty of this system. Well, got a pretty nice cool day today. It is cloudy, so we won't be making any solar. I'm going to start the shelves, the built-ins behind the toilet today, and I wanted to do it out of 2x2s. And I went to all of our local big boxes, and all the 2x2s they had were so crooked. I don't even know why they sell them. They were horrendous. So I'm setting up and I'm going to actually rip down 2x2s today. So get those ripped down and start putting together my shelves. Well, there we go. My own pile of homemade 2x2s. And quite the mess to clean up. That's a lot of fun doing that by yourself with an 8-footer. But we got it. Kind of got a mess from the truck too. All right, I better get this cleaned up. So this is my start here, and what I am doing is I am using the 2x2s and I am gluing, but instead of screwing, I'm just using my finish nailer with 2.5-inch nails. So I know I'm only going into the 1/4-inch underlayment board I've used, but with that glue, it's not going to go anywhere. And especially once I put the 2x4s, glue and nail them in between. I'd like to use my stapler for this instead, but I can't get staples that long that I can find. So I think this is going to work just fine. So I'm getting ready to put in some more of my ABS to get down to the black tank so I can figure kind of more closely where the framing goes for this. But I am making sure whatever I do to really cover up all my other plastic pipe that's under this, because if this cement gets on there or this primer, it could not be a good thing for me. So what I've done here is I had already marked out with an X where I wanted to drill the hole for the vent pipe. So what I did is I stuck this piece out like this and marked my 90 in 2 places so I can glue that 90 on, because I want to make sure that I come out of that wall, and I don't want to wait to put up the next piece and then not be able to get out of the wall. So that's where we're going next. So we got our basic framing in. Next, I'll start the putting the pieces in to carry the shelves. Get that started. Won't be too long. We'll have some shelves. Then we can drop the black tank and start that. But I definitely wanted this done before I had to work around a toilet to do it. And boy, this is going to be nice. This is going to, towels, toilet paper, whatever we need, it's going to be in these shelves. It's going to be a lot of room. Got all the shelf mounts in. So I'm going to cut up some OSB for shelves. We'll get some shelves in this. This is about called a day here. Only thing I did is I got really sloppy, obviously, with my my construction adhesive. So I got a mess on the wall. I'll either have to try to scrape or just paint over it. And then, of course, once I get the shelves in, I'll have to have something to block these little areas off as well. Well, as you can see, the OSB I had was 24 inches. So it's going to leave a little bit of a gap on the sides, but when I put my side pieces in, it'll come close to filling it up. But it's part of that. You know, at my age, I'm using up what I got. I'm sure a lot of you are the same. I'm not going to go buy a bunch of stuff, especially if I already got it. I'll make it work. So get some more of these cut and we'll figure it out. It's not totally done yet, but that kind of gives you an idea. I got to put some screws in the sides and stuff, because everything, I am going to screw the sides in case I ever need to open this up to get to any of the mechanical behind it or into the walls or anything. But that's pretty much it. There is my version of a bathroom shelf. It may not be the prettiest, but it was made out of a lot of recycled materials, and it's not gonna fall down. I can guarantee that. There's 2 tubes of construction adhesive and a lot of nails in it, so it's not going anywhere. Well, there we go, all finished, except of course for painting and trimming. But that'll be a wrap on that. It's all screwed down. It's going to hold a lot of stuff in this bathroom. Of course, we'll have to get some netting up, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to trim it with some 1x. Boy, that's going to add a lot of weight, though. That's the only thing. I mean, there's already enough weight here, but you know what you do what you got to do. It's like building this over here. You know, there was a lot of weight into building this thing. But you know, as you know in the earlier videos, I looked at what this was going to be holding and the massive amount of weight. And I wasn't about to sacrifice making it with 2x or something. Same way with the kitchen counters. You know, I considered the 80-20 or just using 2x2s. And in the end, I just said I can't take the chance that it's going to collapse under the weight. So I used it where I had to and tried to cut back, like the metal studs. There's no reason these 3 walls here couldn't be metal studs, and boy did that ever just save a ton of weight with metal studs. And by the time you screw and glue this 1/4 inch on the metal studs, they're strong. These walls aren't going to go anywhere. They're as strong as any wood wall would be, that's for sure. Getting my trim pieces started here. Just using my DeWalt nail gun to do the finishing nails, put it in. Just putting 1 or 2 in until I get it where I think I like it. I'm going to make sure that the pieces I put in front are going to come up a little bit higher to keep things from jumping off the shelves. Well, I don't think it'll win any carpentry awards, that's for sure. But it's in, it's done. It's going to hold a lot of stuff, towels on the top, bathroom necessities, personal items, etc. on the bottom. Like I said, it'll hold a lot of stuff. And that was my goal, to engineer that into the toilet room here. I guess behind the toilet isn't always the best place to store that stuff, but it's not the worst place either. A lot of people store towels, etc. in cabinets above their toilets. So there we go. Yeah, I guess doors could have been put on there, but you know what? Doors are weight. And it was a struggle for me to want to put the trim on here and add, you know, another 20, 30 pounds onto the build with the trim. But the trim was multi-purpose. It not only looked better, but it also creates this ledge to hold things from flying out. Now, in the end, I may also have to put nets on here. See how it goes, what we have in here, and see if that needs to happen. First coat of paint, well, second coat of paint on this wall. First coat of paint on the shelves. I think they look pretty good. Again, they wouldn't win any award. Used a lot of scraps and etc. Not an excuse, because I'm not a carpenter. Don't even play one on TV or YouTube. But they are functional. They will not fall down. And quite honestly, I'm proud of them. So there you go. So we're doing some of the shelves now. And what I've come up with is I am going to use the wire shelves. But they've got this new system now for Closet Made that uses the double track system and uses this special bracket. I really like that. I think that's going to be a lot sturdier and hold a little bit more weight. So I'm going to get these put up, and I'll come right back and show you what I got. So there we go. I got the shelf up. It's a little different than what I expected. I had wanted to put a center bracket here in the middle, but there is that 1/8" strip that covers the joint between the pieces of OSB. So I didn't want to channel that out or rip it off. So I moved it over one. To be symmetrical, I may decide I want to get another one on this side here, or maybe not. It's pretty strong shelf, and what's going up there is never going to be that heavy. It's going to be a wait and see. I may put another bracket there, I may not. But this stuff is really cool. What it's got is, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got a little hook on this bracket. Well, that one's not even hooked in. There we go. It's got a little hook on this bracket that actually holds the shelf in place. And then, of course, I'll have to, I don't know what I'm going to do here. But maybe they make something that attaches this, or not, with the weight on the shelf. I don't know. We'll see. But I've got some of these fabric bins up here, and they really fit real well. So we'll see. Or I just may have it for open boxes. I'm kind of thinking I'd rather have open stuff up here. Save the fabric bins for clothes and stuff on the other side over here. So, going to be a wait and see approach. But I think that that shelf will work out real well. What I like about it is it weighs a absolute fraction of what cupboards would weigh. Yeah, it may not be as pretty as cupboards, but again, aesthetics is not the main thing here. This weight, and this is probably 1/4, 1/5 of the weight of what cupboards would be. Well, as usual, after thinking about it overnight, I did decide that I needed the 4th upright channel on the wall, the double track, to balance it out, because it just didn't look right. Even if it held the load, it didn't look right. And I thought, you know what, I'm at it. I had to add another shelf. Of course, that's the beauty of this system. I mean, again, this just weighs a fraction of what cabinets would weigh. Yeah, I can't hide stuff like I could with cabinets, but boy, I'm all about this. And of course, what makes it great is taking this shelving that's normally for closets, where this part right here goes the other direction actually, and you can hang clothes on it. Well, I'm using it as a lip to keep things from coming off the shelves. And of course, in the corner, it dead ends into the corner. So now all I have to do is, I do have to come up with something for the ends here, just to keep things from coming off the ends. Haven't decided what I will do with that, and I need to figure out a way. I looked and I did not see any way that they held these things on here. I mean, just comes up. Now, once there's stuff on here, it's not going to come off, but I'd still like to do something with it. I'll have to figure that out. Got our shelf in today above the hot water heater. This way, it'd be a good place for almost a nightstand for a recliner or a chair. Place to put drinks, in my case, place to put my BiPAP machine maybe at night. Started getting some stuff on the shelves, making it look a little bit more like a camper here. Moving right along. Starting to really move through our finishing touches now. Got the desk in the front put in. This is where I'll be able to edit, do work up front here. And got it painted the same paint as the floor in the toilet room. The Ace Hardware people, of course, as you know, told me that's the rough, tough stuff. So painted the desk the same. I'm going to hold off putting any further shelves up higher until I see how this affects the tongue weight down the road. I can always add shelves later if that's what I want, or put something up in the middle here in the back, cubby holes, something like that. It's one of the reasons why I put the receptacle and the USBs up so high. I wanted to leave room on the desk to do whatever I need to do. I mean, I may want a printer here. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna need a printer on the road. We'll see what we decide. But for now, this is it. I got a couple coats of paint on it. I will wait another day or two and then put a third coat of paint on it. And I think we'll call that a done deal.